I'm mostly turned off by the Christian Dylan, and so you'll wonder why I chose what is almost certainly meant to be a song expressing an abstract faith. And I'll need a television series to help me explain this. My favorite single song is Love Minus Zero, No Limit. And as for a favorite album, on some days, Blood on the Tracks, and others, Blonde on Blonde. And I like the 1990s stuff. So I'm a 60s, 70s, and 90s guy. The 80s, Dylan's worst decade, to my lights, although Infidels has earned my respect, and Blind Willie McTell is remarkable, and I loved Bob's 4 sung lines in We Are the World in 1985. I think he even says, "Now sing it, everybody," at the end of it. And then they scissor him out because he probably wasn't even in the room at the time. The finest and most compelling song of the 1980s is Series of Dreams. Most agree that it's the best song in the Oh Mercy group, which is not saying that much. And yet, so strangely, it was omitted from that album. I should note that Dignity was omitted from the same album, and so perhaps there's no strangeness here at all, just bad decisions. Series of Dreams came to most of us through bootleg series 1 to 3, and to a few intrepid TV watchers by its use as the song leading into the final episode of David Milch's eccentric one-season-only HBO series, John from Cincinnati, about which more in a moment. Daniel Lanois, the great producer of Dylan in that period and also later, gave this song a visionary abstraction, a driving, tumultuous production, insistent drumming, much louder than usual for Dylan, louder than we'd heard since Desire. Just think of ISIS with that drumming. And foregrounded tambourine, the bass turned way up, with an instrumental arrangement that implies Lanois' strange insistence that Dylan sing the entire song as if it were a bridge. A whole song sung like a bridge. In his autobiography, Dylan writes revealingly about this. "I knew what Lanois meant," he says, "but it just couldn't be done. Though I thought about it for a second, thinking that I could probably start with the bridge as the main part and then use the main part as the bridge, the idea didn't amount to much, and thinking about the song this way wasn't healthy." It's just quite a statement from Bob Dylan. Not the first time Dylan's memory or description of intention has been misleading. For thinking about Series of Dreams this way, each verse having a bridge-ish quality, a crescendo all the way, up and up and up and up, with no clear way back to the melody as it began, is just about the healthiest thing I've heard in all of Dylan's work. You see, it's tempting to understand the dream of this song as a single recurring dream, series of dreams, lots of dreams, dreamt by one dreamer. The believer, Bob Dylan, dreaming of, in a phrase of the song, nothing too very scientific. But unlike explicit Dylan dream songs, such as Bob Dylan's Dream, which we heard, and I Dreamed I Saw St. Augustine, where the single dreamer frames a subjective vision, and inside the frame, the genius is permitted to wander narratively and musically. Unlike all that, this is a series of dreams with no individual specificity, and they seem not to be dreamt in sequence, one after the other, but simultaneously. Thinking of a series of dreams where the time and the tempo fly, and there's no exit in any direction, except the one you can't see with your eyes, wasn't making any connection, any great connection, wasn't falling for any intricate scheme, nothing that would pass inspection, just thinking of a series of dreams, dreams where the umbrella is folded, into the path you are hurled, and the cards are no good that you're holding, unless they're from another world. In one, the numbers are burning. In another, I witnessed a crime. In one, I was running, and in another, all I seemed to be doing was climb. Wasn't looking for any special assistance, not going to any great extremes. I'd already gone the distance, just thinking of a series of dreams. This is a song of dreams dreamed by many simultaneously, variable but singular in its source. Dylan's thought is not so much about the dream's content, so much as the fact of them as a concurrence. The line might be thinking of the idea of a series of dreams as spiritually distinct from that of a unique dreamer. Thinking of a series of dreams. Enter David Milch. In the final episode of season 1 of John from Cincinnati, and he knew this very weird show was bound to be canceled. Maybe he actually knew it was going to be canceled. So in effect, he was making the final episode. This strange prophet, diviner, savant, hope channeler, John, JC, get it? And not so much John from Cincinnati, JC, but from, as the song says, another world, has gone off. John has gone off. This is a series, the TV series that is, about a self-destructive surfer family and a hopeless, sketchy beach community near the California-Mexican border. And the protagonist's surfer dynasty family has lost and then found again and then lost again its youngest, most innocent member, grandson Shawnee, played terribly and brilliantly by a real surfer kid. Every member of the cast has invested all their hopes and faith in Shawnee. He is exactly as innocent and good as they are guilty and wasted. Milch wants them to discover a genuine, soulful communitarianism. But as the final episode begins, Shawnee is still missing, and each character is disjunct and dissolute. And then, from out among the far-off big waves, John from Cincinnati miraculously returns with Shawnee, and they are in perfect surfing sync, and they come in from the sky, from the waves, from the really big waves, and everyone is having a version of the same dream in a series of dreams. When Milch chose a song rejected from Oh Mercy, Series of Dreams, to open this final episode, he offered a movingly recuperative interpretation that I think is exactly in the spirit of an all-crescendo, all-bridge-ish lyric that is as powerful as the finest visionary concurrent communing in all of Dylan. Visions of Johanna, Desolation Row. Except here, there's hope expressed through the hidden love that we have the capacity to share. And there's no exit in any direction except the one you can't see with your eyes. Lights, Max. Make sure the volume is up, Max.
Of a series of dreams where nothing comes up to the top. Everything stays down where it's wounded and comes to a permanent stop. Wasn't thinking of anything specific, like in a dream where someone wakes up and screams. Nothing true, very scientific. Just thinking of a series of dreams. Dreams where the umbrella is folded into the path you are headed, and the cards are no good that you hold, unless they're from another world. In one, the surface was frozen. In another, I witnessed a crime. In one, I was running, and in another